Okay, next week I'm going to show you how to set up these contingency tables in SPSS, but right now for this week I'll give you the data set that goes with the homework, and then next week I'll show you how to set it up. So this is the data set from the video about odds ratios and risk ratios. So here we have the data view. We're in data view. If we go to variable view, you can see I have method, and I have two options. 1 is equal to ligation, and 2 is equal to sclerotherapy. If I go here, I have outcome, and I have 1 is equal to death, and 2 is equal to survival. And then I have this frequency variable. So let's go back. So 18 people had ligation and were also and died from it. So 18 people had ligation and had the outcome of death. 46 had ligation and had the outcome of survival. 29 had sclerotherapy and died, and 36 had sclerotherapy and survived. So we want to know the risk ratio and the odds ratio. So the first thing we have to do is we go to data, and we come all the way down to weight cases. We must weight our cases by the frequency. And that tells the computer how to set up the contingency table. So we're going to say OK. All right, so nothing has happened. If we go into our output, it will just show that we had weighted our cases. So let's go to Analyze, and we're going to come to Descriptive Statistics, and we're going to go to Crosstabs. Okay, and we're going to put our method in the row and the outcome in the columns. And we're going to come to Cells, and everything pops over here. So I'm going to say I want row percentages, and I'm going to say OK. And then I'm going to go to Statistics, and all I want, I'm just going to say risk, and I'm going to say continue and OK. All right, so what do we have? We have 18 and 46 and 29 and 36. So 28% of the people died with ligation, and 71%, 72% did not die. 46% did die with sclerotherapy, and 54% did not die. Okay, so the interpretation of the output can get a little confusing, so I'm going to take it slow. What we see here, we have the odds ratio, and we have these two are the risk ratios in terms of death and survival. SPSS is not sure which one we're interested in, so it gives us both. First, let's look at the odds ratio. Remember, the odds ratio for the method, ligation over sclerotherapy, are the same. The odds of the top row are the same as the odds of the bottom row when the odds is equal to 1. Here we have an odds that's actually less than 1. So what that means is the odds of death for the ligation group is less than the odds of death for the sclerotherapy group. So therefore ligation has a protective effect because this value is less than 1. Now for risk ratio, it's the same setup, ligation over sclerotherapy. If our outcome of interest is death, then what this is saying is that you're less likely to die for ligation group than for the sclerotherapy group. If you're interested in survival, you're more likely to survive for the ligation group than for the sclerotherapy group. If your outcome of interest was the opposite, then you would just have to code these so that sclerotherapy is on top and ligation is on bottom. But right now what we've found, and it wouldn't change, is that ligation is a better method than sclerotherapy.